Martin Luther King Jr. Day was first celebrated in 1986, 3 years after it was signed into law. However, it was not until 2000 that all 50 states began to officially observe the holiday. How many years passed between when the law was signed and when the holiday was celebrated across all of America? Now, I'll be honest, the first time that I read 1986, 3 years after it was signed into law, and I was reading it as 3 years after 1986 it was signed into law. That's actually another lesson in grammar and why commas are important. That comma there lets you know that it was actually 1983 that it was signed into law. So the first thing that you needed to do was subtract 1986 minus 3. One thing I wanted to talk about was, why are we circling the year? Because usually I say the year is really more of a thing and we don't circle it as an important number or unit. Why are we counting the year today? Mia? Because how many years passed is the question. And in fact, what number up there do we not need? What number up there is unimportant? Macy? 50 states. So we can mark that out. So in 1983 is when the law was passed. To find out how many years passed, then you have to subtract 2000 minus 1983. We'll give you 17. Yes, Claire? Thank you. Okay, who has a great sentence for me? Harper. 17 years passed between the law being signed and all 50 states celebrating. Now, this will age me, but I can tell you that I can remember when we did not get off school for Martin Luther King Day. I think I was probably about in high school before we started getting out of school for Martin Luther King Day. I graduated high school in 1992, so that makes sense with this timeline. By 2000, all states were observing the holiday. Okay, and sometime in the early 90s, maybe late 80s, Indiana started observing, or at least Center Grove started observing, because that's where I went to high school. So, interesting tidbit.